When I first started making clay charms, I had no idea about how to glaze them. So I experimented with a lot of mediums, made a bunch of mistakes and figured out the best possible way you can glaze your charms with. This video has everything that I learned, from glazing to safety equipments, tools, safety precautions, aftercare, everything. So I think this will be the last video you'll watch about glazing. So watch till the end and let's get started. In the beginning, I used nail polish for glazing. It looks super glossy at first, but after a few months it starts chipping. Then I tried art varnish. It's a bit tricky to apply, but I really love the glossy finish it gives. Later, I switched to Varnish Spray because applying varnish was a hassle. The spray gives a nice satin finish, but over time it gets sticky and attracts dust, so I wouldn't recommend it. And finally, UV resin. Out of all the glazes I tried, UV resin has been my absolute favorite. I even watched a video on YouTube where a girl did experiment with all different types of glazes for 1 year, and guess which glaze lasted for 1 year, and that is UV resin. I also want my charms to last really long, so my pick would be UV resin. I know it takes a lot of efforts, but if you are running a small business or if you want your charms to last really long, UV resin is the one. But if you are working around it as hobby, I would definitely recommend varnish or nail polish. Now I don't recommend this because it kind of got sticky. Maybe I think clear lacquer might work, but this doesn't. So coming to UV resin needs a UV lamp or sunlight to cure. I think you should buy UV lamp because you can't rely on sunlight all the time. Now coming to safety equipments, even though this UV resin is for art purposes, you can't neglect the safety equipments. So firstly, the respirator. Now no, you can't replace respirator with a UV mask. This is a must. And nextly, you need goggles. Now I skipped goggles for the first few uses, and then I felt like my eyes are kind of burning, so I bought this and I'm using these goggles. Nextly, you need gloves. The first mistake I made was pouring resin directly onto the charms. Now this is something pros can do, but as a beginner it caused resin drips that were really hard to fix. The second mistake was not spreading the resin evenly. If you look at this charm, you will see the resin cured unevenly, so always spread it properly. Third, I tried holding the charm with pliers while glazing. It might seem smart, but the resin sticks to the pliers, pulls the eye pin, and even builds up on the plier itself. Definitely not worth it. Next, I used colored acetone to clean my brushes. Now this is a nail polish remover. It seemed fine, but up close you can see this bead turned slightly blue. Always use clear acetone in. So I start by putting all my safety equipments. Today I am working on these two charms. You will need a hand drill or even a simple needle works. If it's a desk piece, poke a hole at the bottom. Since I am making a keychain, I am drilling at the top for a strong hold. Pouring resin directly is out of the question, so use an acrylic block wrapped in cling film. Pour the resin onto this palette. Just remember, if you are sitting in front of direct sunlight, the resin will start curing, and if your lamp faces the palette, it will cure there too. So always keep the lamp turned away. I brush the resin evenly over the charms, making sure every part is covered. And now don't judge this charm. This is from my cold porcelain mistake video. You can watch it if you are interested. And once the charm is fully coated, I turn the UV lamp in the opposite direction and I use the BQ method, like slowly twisting the drilling needle as if I am grilling it. When it's about 80% cured, I remove the drill and place the charm directly under the UV lamp for another 60 seconds. Meanwhile, I repeat the same steps for another charm. Once cured, I insert the eye pin, add a tiny bit of resin around it for security and cure it again. So for aftercare, I usually cure the resin left on the palette before disposal. Then I remove my gloves and safety gear. My face usually feels heavy after wearing the respirator, so I double cleanse. Okay, that's everything that I learned about glazing so far, and I really hope this video made things easier for you. If you are just starting out, and that too if you are using UV resin, I know it can be a little bit stressful, but over time you will get used to it and you will find a way to make things easier. If you have any more questions or if you would like to share any tips or tricks, please let me know in the comments. And